One of the most ardent ways people attack capitalism these days is that it's destroying the environment. And if you throw away capitalism because it's destroying the environment, then guess what? We're all headed back to pre-industrial times. So rather, there's an externality because the environment is finite, the environment is precious, and we have to price it properly and fold it back in. Properly pricing externalities can save resources in a tremendous way. It's a good framework to think about how to be effective when you want to do things like save the environment rather than feel good things that won't actually amount to anything.
One of the most common questions we get from people is, how do I get the time to start investing in myself? I have a job. I'll kick off the answer with one of the tweets from the cutting room floor where you said, "You will need to rent your time to get started. This is only acceptable when you are learning and saving, preferably in a business where society does not yet know how to train people and apprenticeship is the only model."
You're going to have to work starting out unless you happen to be born rich, in which case you probably won't have the motivation to make money in the first place. If you're going to do the work, join a business where apprenticeship matters. Warren Buffett went and tried to work for Benjamin Graham straight out of school to learn how to be a value investor, and he offered to work for free, and Ben Graham said, "You're overpriced." It's true in that these apprenticeship businesses, you're probably making a sacrifice in terms of short-term career to work there. But try to learn something where people haven't quite figured out how to teach it yet. And that can happen if you're working in a field that is brand new and quickly expanding, so no one has figured it out, or it's a field that's very circumstantial where the details really matter and it's always moving. For example, fund investments or investing in general is one of those skills. Entrepreneurship is one of those skills. One of the most coveted jobs that's come up in Silicon Valley in the last half decade or so is being a chief of staff for an entrepreneur, where the brightest young kids will follow the CEO or the entrepreneur around and do whatever that person needs them to do. And in many cases, they're way overqualified for the position. You may have someone who has 2 graduate degrees who is essentially running the CEO's laundry for that day because that's the most important thing that needs to be done. But at the same time, they're also going to be sitting in all the highest end staff meetings. They're going to be privy to all the venture fundraising decks and all the stress and drama, theatrics, innovation, and knowledge that can only come from being next to the entrepreneur. Because the entrepreneur is willing to do anything and everything to make their company successful, and the chief of staff is accompanying them and learning. Now, obviously, this is very Silicon Valley-centric tech company advice. If you are currently stuck in a normal job and you don't have the opportunity to learn in an apprenticeship model and you need to make money, then go ahead and do that job.